Hello, I'm Evan Popplestone from cinemasfringes.com, and today I'll be talking about Loving Vincent, the world's first ever hand-painted feature film. It features over 65,000 different canvas paintings, which were created by over 100 different artists. The film is set shortly after Vincent van Gogh's untimely death by gunshot at the age of just 37. It features Douglas Booth as a young man named Armand Rouland, who has been tasked with delivering Vincent's last letter to its intended recipient, his own brother Theo. His travails end up with him going to Paris, where he meets one of his fellow art dealers and unfortunately discovered that shortly after Vincent's death, Theo's own health deteriorated and he too died not long afterwards. Nonetheless, Armand is determined to get to the bottom of it, so he heads to the small town named Auvers-sur-Oise, which is the location where Van Gogh allegedly took his own life by gunshot. And when he's there, he goes around and asks the various townspeople about the enigmatic artist and tries to piece together the puzzle of how he died and why and what drove him to this. However, as he goes round, he starts to hear differing contradictory stories about how Van Gogh died and his own relationship towards the end of his life with the mysterious Dr. Gachet and his adolescent daughter Marguerite, played by Saoirse Ronan. It has to be said that visually Loving Vincent is a remarkable and painstaking achievement. And the way in which it evokes the paintings of Van Gogh are quite spectacular, and in particular the way lighting and things like that's been atmospherically evoked by oil paintings is certainly something well worth seeing. Now, some critics have complained that there's a lack of story substance behind all the beautiful artistry, but I think they're wrong and they're certainly missing the point. The whole artistic soul conveyed within the visuals is, in many ways, the substance here, as it provides quite a unique insight into this very original and quite enigmatic artist. The story's rather detective movie in style, and which kind of sounds maybe a bit cliche on the surface, but it does build quite a compelling picture of this troubled but very intelligent and artistically gifted man who could look at rural life and people and in a beautiful way and then convey this to canvas. The score by Clint Mansell's also of note. It has a considerable emotional impact and it adds a lot to the visuals. Douglas Booth's character Armand Rouland, he kind of seems, a bit of a blank cipher kind of character at the start, but as he learns more about Vincent, he starts to develop more of an emotional response and emotional stake in the proceedings, so he does become more compelling as he goes along. And there's one moment where he spies this young retarded boy who is actually based on Vincent van Gogh's painting, Young Man with a Cornflower. He's picked on by some drunken village bullies and he gets angry and decides to engage in a fist fight with these three obnoxious characters. And it kind of adds a bit of depth to the story because, of course, this Young Man with a Cornflower character we see in the movie, he would have possessed kind of, a bit of Van Gogh's soul because he was painted with him. So it's a touch that adds a nice bit of extra resonance to the movie for me. All of the main painted characters here were based either on people that Van Gogh met during his life or various, subjects for his painting. And as well as this, they also bear a resemblance to the actors who are voicing them. In particular, Saoirse Ronan's character, she bears a great resemblance to the well-known actress. And it's kind of it sounds like a strange artistic choice, but it works really well, and there's a definite sense of passion in the artwork here that's that really comes through and couldn't be imitated with CGI. As is entirely fitting as a depiction of a tortured, quite possibly manic depressive artist, Loving Vincent, it's not a cheerful movie. Though some of the artwork has a kind of inspiring and strangely majestic and uplifting quality to it, but as a whole, it's not really a movie you'd watch as an antidepressant. However, as an insight into what made a great artist tick, and to help us to understand the difficulties of the artistic worldview and the mindset of the artist, it's a beautiful movie and it's an absolute must-see if that's what you're interested in. I'd give this 5 stars out of 5. I think some of the critics that gave it lukewarm or poor reviews, I think they missed the point of the movie, and it ranks amongst my favorites of this year. Anyway, I hope you enjoy your movie watching experiences, and I hope you catch me for another video soon. This is Evan Poppleston from Cinema's Fringes signing off, so see you!